I would tell this person, how do you like your wife to chat with another man? How do you feel about it? You know, the hadith which I was talking about earlier, then we got sucked in answering many other questions and so on. The hadith of the young man who came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, إِذَلِّ فِي الزِّنَا, allow me to commit adultery. So I spoke to this young man, born and raised in America, and I said, Habibi, would you like your sister to have a relationship with somebody? He said, I don't care. So I said, well, he didn't spare anything for me to continue. I mean, he made the long story short. I wanted to start as the Prophet ﷺ started. But he said, I don't care. Your mother, he said, I don't care. And unfortunately, this is going on amongst the youth in the Muslim countries as well. No thanks to the media. No thanks to the media which is spreading mischief and corruption on earth. The youth are obsessed about watching this filthy media, watching the kufr, the disbelief, wickedness, prostitution, and immorality day and night. Now they don't mind coming out in public and say, I don't mind if my sister were to have a boyfriend. My very first time to me in America, maybe 20 years ago, when somebody, one of my students, was introducing my sister, introducing his sister to me, then all of a sudden somebody showed up and said, oh, he's my sister's boyfriend. And my head was spinning, like, okay, what does it mean? And then the guy was kissing her and was hugging her in front of me. Are they married? He said, no, they're just boyfriend and girlfriend. And you're happy that your sister is being kissed by somebody who's not her husband? And I was just going crazy. What's going on? Nowadays, this is common in many Muslim countries. Al-Ra'i, the guardian, is fully responsible before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about that. كلكم راع وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته. When the true dua are banned from communicating with people, and the media is open 24/7 to watch everything, no restriction whatsoever in the Muslim world. You know, in the West, there are some rated materials that you cannot watch or you cannot order unless if you are at a certain age. But here, the space is open. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. So when somebody is chatting and said, you know, this is haram, he says, you don't know what is haram. I'm not doing anything. Others are doing this and this and this and that. So he's comparing himself to one who's worse. And the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said a hadith in this regard. The hadith is, the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, when you compare yourself to one who is better than you as far as righteousness and religious commitment. So you're always trying to catch up with him, to be as good as him. Don't compare yourself to one who is wicked or worse than you and say, I'm much better than others. Many youth, when I say, why do you smoke? They say, why not? I say, because smoking is bad. They said, if smoking is bad, what about drugs? At least I'm not doing drugs. At least I'm not drinking. And I say, why do you hang around with girls and say, at least I'm not committing adultery. At least I'm not doing like such and such. Why do you compare yourself? Well, we have Satan. So are you going to compare yourself to a shaitan? It doesn't have an end. You can keep sinking until you hit the bottom of fire. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. Yet compare yourselves to one who is better than you as far as righteousness, religious commitment. Compare yourself, you pray Fajr alhamdulillah on time, but you don't pray it in the masjid. Compare yourself to one who does not miss a Fajr in the masjid, does not miss the sunnah, and you just barely pray the fard, and so on. It will help you to be better. And compare yourselves to one who is less fortunate than you as far as dunya, wealth, health, etc. Lest you may belittle Allah's blessings upon you. Because wallahi, if you already drive a Mercedes, and if mashallah you're healthy, but for instance you're bald-headed, you keep looking at somebody who has a long hair and is doing a hairstyle and say, I don't know why Allah didn't make me like this. and you look at somebody who's driving a newer model or a better car or whatever and say, too bad, I'm not that fortunate like this guy. But when you compare yourself to the guy who opens the door to you, the gatekeeper, the guard, the one who's sleeping in the basement, the one who doesn't have a bed to sleep on, I tried this with my kids and it's working 100% fine. Every time I sense that they're demanding more, I take them and I show them the gatekeeper, and I show them the poor people, and I show them those who don't have a vehicle to begin with. So we settle and we say, oh wow, alhamdulillah wa shukrullah. Abi, how come we don't have an air condition here? I show them that people do not even have a house. And those who have a house or a flat, they do not have a fan. So alhamdulillah, we're much better than others. Then we become content. We become happy. And this happiness only comes whenever you are content, happy with whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you. Okay?